Empowering People, Walter Brueggemann's presentation. On October 25th, the Diocese welcomed Walter Brueggemann, a noted Old Testament scholar, to talk about creating a culture of call. His engaging presentation highlighted the connections between Old Testament texts and modern life. If the Bible recalls our past, girds our present, and shapes our future, then it makes sense to begin with the Bible when talking about discernment.
So here's the first point. I'm going to enumerate these for you. The first point is that when Elijah found Elisha, he didn't say anything to him. He threw his cape over him. He threw his mantle over him. And that defined his existence. So the question that I want you to think about while I talk is, who threw the mantle over you? And what did they expect of you? And how are you doing? And if you've been at this faith business a while, you are permitted to ask, over whom have you thrown a mantle of empowerment and expectation? Because the matter of apostolic succession is not just with bishops and priests. The matter of apostolic succession concerns the whole body of believers, and it is a intergenerational thing in which we are always casting the mantle on someone else.
Lay people don't often have a chance to use words like discernment and ministry, and the table discussions gave them an opportunity.
I think I should do this. Something's compelling me, even though I never really, every time I'm really pushed out of my comfort zone, and I feel like I'm taking a risk, I feel like that's sort of God pushing me along. Yeah.
By using, becoming comfortable with, and living into these words, people discover how God is at work in their lives and communities. They begin to discern ways to use their individual and congregational gifts, and suddenly the congregation is empowered to move beyond the physical walls of the church. One participant said that people need to be empowered to be open to God's calling, and to know that God never closes one door without opening another. Everyone has God-given gifts, and there are many opportunities for ministry. One only needs to listen, be open, and be ready to respond yes when God calls. Empowering People, Quiet Days. A quiet day is an Anglican tradition. It's a time for rest and meditation while listening to a still, small voice. For several years, the Reverends Lynn and Dean Weber have conducted morning-long quiet days together to help their congregations find time to be still and to hear God in the midst of busy lives. Parishioners from half a dozen congregations in districts 8, 9, and 10 have come to Tenafly or Leonia to take part in a quiet day. More recently, Good Shepherd in Fort Lee and Trinity in Cliffside Park have co-sponsored quiet days. The quiet days are designed to invite people into the Bible story or theme of the day. Recognizing that people learn differently, various ways of entering the story are offered. Each day begins with prayer and teaching on a passage from Scripture. Lynn then leads a meditation in the tradition of St. Ignatius of Loyola. This is followed by quiet time for prayer and reflection on the teaching, or on whatever emerges from the people's hearts and minds. There are poetry readings and a silent art meditation, in which everyone makes a holy card to commemorate the day's experiences. Then the tables are cleared, the silence is broken, and a festive luncheon is served. By 1 o'clock, people are back to their busy lives, with their souls refreshed, having found empowerment for living their faith in the world. Empowering People, Faith in Action Weekend. Last fall, St. Michael's, Wayne, challenged parishioners to live out Christ's commandment to love your neighbor as yourself through a program called Faith in Action. During the month of October, Bible study focusing on the Gospel of Luke empowered and prepared parishioners for the work to come. Multimedia Bible teachings were held during services the first 3 Sundays of October. Parishioners took part in small group discussions as well as daily devotionals, so that the entire congregation was praying the scriptures together. On the last weekend of October, St. Michael's further empowered its congregation by canceling Sunday morning services, leaving everyone free to spend the weekend reflecting Christ's love to their neighbors in the community of Wayne. 7 service projects allowed parishioners of all ages, skills, interests, and physical abilities to participate and directly touch lives. Some parishioners went to local nursing homes, bringing worship services, one-on-one visits, and handmade gifts to local residents. Others helped with yard work, repairs, and other chores at the homes of needy residents identified by local social service organizations. St. Michael's ministry reached as far as Afghanistan through letters and care packages prepared by parishioners and sent to servicemen and women. There were even treats for the service dogs of the Canine Corps. The weekend of the biggest outreach project ever at St. Michael's was capped by a brief, informal worship service, followed by a party. Faith in Action involved 165 parishioners and one very awesome God, who planted in their hearts the desire to serve and enabled them to do it. The people of St. Michael's are already planning quarterly community service days to continue putting faith into action.